Hello everyone, welcome to the webinar of Inolink. This is Jairaj Nadar representing Inogic in the capacity of Business Development Manager. In today's session, we will talk about Inogic's one of the integration app called Inolink. So for your information, all lines will be muted. In case if you have any queries or any questions, yes, you can use this chat window to put all your questions. I will be answering all of your queries through an email. So before I deep dive into this session, I would like to give you short introduction about Inogic. Inogic is one of the leading service provider and an independent ISV. We are also an exclusive Dynamic 365 CRM boutique shop that has been in the business for more than decades now. We also been active in the CRM community in which our blogs are very popular. As you can see on the screen, these are all the various productivity add-ons which Inogic has to offer. So out of all, I would like to talk about a few key flagship product of Inogic. Starting with Maplytics, it is a market leading CFMD certified product which provide capabilities like route optimization, smart appointment planner and much more. And next interesting app I would like to talk about is the SharePoint Security Sync. It is a comprehensive solution for integrating Dynamic 365 CRM with SharePoint along with the document management. And also is the provision to synchronize a CRM security model along with the SharePoint. So apart from this product development, Inogic is also an SI. We do provide an offshore development services by assisting our partners and the customers. So if you need any more information related to any of our productivity add-ons or service related, you can do reach out to us at crm@inogic.com. So this is the agenda for the today's session, where we will be seeing the challenges faced by the users in integrating a QuickBooks with the CRM. And then we'll see the key features of Inolink, followed by live demonstration, and finally you can put all of your queries in the chat window. So now let's begin the session with the challenges. Like most of the organization, I could say like a mid-sized organization or a small organization globally prefer a Dynamic 365 CRM Online and a QuickBooks Online for their good customer relationship and for their accounting purposes. So because of this, there is a constant juggling between a Dynamic 365 CRM and the QuickBooks in order to ensure the accounting and the sales data integrity, because they both are interdependent on each other. So because of this, like various key challenges that has been faced by the users in the organization. Let's say if I want to know the accounting details as a salesperson to be known in my CRM, it is not possible. And also there is currently no provision for synchronizing the sales transaction details between both the systems, or not even no tax calculation that has been performed within the CRM. And yeah, the duplicate data entry is a major disadvantage for many organizations. So if any chances, or there is a high chances of an duplication of data entries that has been happening in because of this. Isn't it great if we integrate both this system so that all the transaction details, all the sales details can be got in within the CRM? Yes, you heard it right. Inolink does that. Inolink is a seamless bi-directional integration app that provides an integration between Dynamic 365 CRM and the QuickBooks. So to overcome all these challenges, we have come up with this seamless integration app called as an Inolink with the following key features. So you see a lot of key features that we have with that Inolink has to offer. Bi-directional. You can synchronize the two-way. You can do a two-way synchronization of an account's contact and the product. As I said, it is a bi-directional. You can do it from either from the CRM to the QuickBooks or from the QuickBooks and to the CRM for the following entities. And the tax calculation. Yes, you perform a sales tax calculation in Dynamic 365 CRM for the quote, order and invoices as well. Multi-company sync. Yes, you can integrate a more than one QuickBook company for a single CRM organization for the single instance. So this will really helpful for you to manage accounting data within a single instance, a CRM instances. Accounting history. You get all of these trails transaction details within the Dynamic 365 CRM, which really helpful for the salesperson to get all the information at once within the CRM. Reporting. Yeah, all the data which we have seen or which has been residing within the CRM can be represented in a dashboard charts as per your own requirement, or you can also customize and you can define how the charts should be displayed as per your need with the reporting structures. And the real-time synchronization. So this is the important key features where you can see a real-time synchronization or real-time integration of a data from Dynamic 365 CRM to the QuickBooks. So this I will be deep diving into the while showing you the demonstration about the real-time synchronization. Secured accounting field. The accounting field can be secured through a field level security as well. The transaction sync. Like all of your quote, order, invoices, all this transaction, the sales transaction details can be synchronized from the CRM to the QuickBooks. And the cloud-based solution. Since it is a cloud-based solution, it provides a seamless integration within these two systems. The account balances. So you can able to check all of the open balances, the YTD sales, the 30, 60, 90 details. All of these account details can be seen within the CRM once the data has been integrated between those systems. And yes, the device compatible. It is supported in web, mobile and the tablet as well. So now we will see all these key features in a live action. So let me switch to my CRM window. So before I start ahead, so I would like to give you a short note. Like I've logged in one system in CRM, and on the other window I have logged in for the QuickBooks, for which the accounting part works from the QuickBooks end, whereas all the transaction details or the customer related or all of the sales details needs to be performed from there from the CRM end. So now first we will look at how we can synchronize, how we can integrate the real-time data from CRM to the QuickBooks. So let's say in an organization, if I want to integrate my customer details to the QuickBooks, or I want to synchronize my customer details to the QuickBooks in a real time. So for that, how we can perform with the help of Inolink, I will show you as of now. So if you see, for the better understanding, let me clearly show you that the one which already I have synchronized this record from CRM to the QuickBooks. So this is a crazy solution, is the account which I have already synchronized from CRM. I see all of the details. So these details will be reflected at the QuickBooks end, the customer details section, the customer email ID, the phone number. So any information that you update, so it gets updated in a real time at the QuickBooks end as well. Any modification or any changes that has been done against this record, it will get synchronized and it will get updated at the QuickBooks end. So this is the record which I have already processed. Now let's see how the real-time synchronization of this account like Safari Energy LLC. Now if I want to promote or if I want to synchronize this record and I want to get this detail into the QuickBooks, so how can I do that? So now since it is this account name is Safari Energy LLC, to validate, if I go and check at my QuickBook end whether that account has been already synchronized or not, I can even search and check. So you see currently there is no account named called Safari Energy LLC or which has been synchronized or integrated into the QuickBooks. So now what we will do is, so in order to synchronize a record from CRM to the QuickBooks, the first step you need to do is hit on this promote button. So what exactly it is once you hit on this promote button, the syncing will be in the process in the background, and once you hit on this process, you want to know whether the record got synchronized or not, or it got any failure, or whether actually it got stuck or not. So this information, if you want to know whether this record got actually processed or not into the QuickBooks, so for that we have an entity called as a link job entity. So in this link job entity, if you go and check what's the status of this record, whether it got synchronized or processed or not. So for that, if you see link job for an account entity which we have performed now, and the link status is in queued. So here we get a 3 status over there. Once if a record is in process, the synchronization is in process, you will get a queued message over here. And since we are doing it from the CRM, the source that you see it's from the CRM, and if this record has been synchronized, you get a success message against this status. And if any failure occurs during the synchronization, during your real-time synchronization, you will get a failure message over here. So now let's refresh and check whether the record got synchronized or not. So I refreshed it, the link status has been changed to an success. That means this record has been synchronized, and if I need to go and check into the QuickBooks end, I should be able to see this, the Safari Energy LLC along with all of this customer details information over there. So let's go and check whether that's the case or not. We refresh this once. So we have promoted the record name called as Safari Energy LLC. So you see drop down along with the record name Safari Energy LLC, and yeah, there you see the record got synchronized, and you see the customer details which we have entered over there, the name, email, the phone number, the fax number, the websites, so which are all the information that you have added over there that will get synchronized and you see in the QuickBooks end against this record. Similarly, if you do any addition or any modification against this record for the customer details, so yes, it will get auto updated in the QuickBooks and no need to again click on that promote button so and so. Just a one-time task of just hitting on that promote button or synchronization that you need to perform. So if any modification, additional changes that has been done against this record, it will get auto synchronized and you see that the details get updated at the QuickBooks end. So now, yes, I got my information got in a real-time synchronization of my account record to the QuickBooks end. So let's assume from the QuickBooks end they are making any payment, or they are updating the payment status at the QuickBook end, and that data or that data should get reflected or get integrated into the CRM, and the salesperson can. So this really helpful for the salesperson, like they can immediately go and check against the record whether this the sales transaction related to that specific customer, like what was the status of that, whether the invoice has been paid or not, what is the aging details, what was the balance. So all this information, if the salesperson wants to know, he can quickly go to into the CRM and check against that record. So to make this simpler, so first we need to have the invoices against this record, right? So now let's go and promote an invoice from the CRM to the QuickBooks. As soon as we synchronize invoice from the CRM to the QuickBooks, you should see an invoice to be listed over here in the transaction list. So now let's go and promote, or let's go and synchronize a invoice from the CRM end and see whether it has been reflected at the QuickBooks end or not. So I have already created an invoice against this record for the Safari Energy LLC customer, and I've added the products along with this. And now let's click on the promote button and see the real-time synchronization, and we'll see whether the invoice has been generated at the QuickBooks end or not. Once I hit on this promote button, so as I said, the synchronization will be in the process. So once the synchronization has been completed, which we check from the link job entity, and you should see that this invoice should be created at the QuickBooks end. So as of now, it is in the syncing is in process. So since we are doing for a invoice that get synchronized from CRM to the QuickBooks, so you see now the link status has been changed to an success. That means invoice should get generated at the QuickBooks end. Let's go and check whether that's the case or not. So I have promoted the invoice. So I go in the transaction list. So you see the invoice has been created, synchronized into the from the CRM to the QuickBooks end. I can double click and open the invoice and check. So what was the customer name, the invoice date, what was the product added against this invoice, if I want to make any changes or the modification against this record, against this invoice. So now the invoice that has been seen at the QuickBooks end. So now let's assume this Safari Energy LLC has made the payment. So from the accounting side, like from the accounting system, if they have updated the payment, like they have received the payment or not. So once they have updated the payment, so this transaction details, the sales transaction details to get integrated into the CRM, to get updated into the CRM. So let's check how the integration happens whenever any payment status that has been updated at the QuickBooks end, and how the integration works and how the data has been reflected at the CRM. So now let's assume this as a sales at the accounting team receives the payment against this customer, Safari Energy LLC, and I'm updating the payment status at the QuickBooks end, and once I received, I have hit on save and close. So it means I have received the payment against this customer at the QuickBooks end, and once it has been done, I have made the payment and updated. So in order to synchronize, or in order to get this sales transaction details from the QuickBooks to the CRM, there is a service has to be scheduled. The service has to be run at the background in order to synchronize this QuickBook data into the CRM. And this takes a few more minutes depending upon the poll time interval that you set to synchronize this record data from the QuickBooks to the CRM. So for that poll, depending upon the poll time interval, as I said, depending upon the time interval, it will get reflected at the CRM. So in the meantime, we will check what it requires and what setting that we need to do in the Inolink in order to perform or in order to synchronize the data from CRM to the QuickBooks or from QuickBooks to the CRM. So for that you need to navigate to the settings, and this is the this entity which you see once you get activated with the license and you need to perform the following actions. Like you need to navigate to the Inolink setting. At the initial step you will be seeing only with these two entities like Dynamic 365 CRM and the QuickBooks, and you won't be able to see any things at the bottom of this page. The first you need to do is establish a connection between Dynamic 365 CRM and the QuickBooks. So once you have done the connection establishment along with the mapping of all of this record of the products, so then you will be able to see a two section that you see over here. One is synchronizing a record from Dynamic 365 CRM to the QuickBooks, and other is synchronizing a record from QuickBooks and to the CRM. So these two different sections that you will be seeing once the connection has been established between QuickBooks and the CRM. And now let's see if I want to promote a record from CRM to the QuickBooks end, completely from the one side, that is from the CRM to the QuickBooks end. So what step you need to do? So for that you see the product is the customer details and the customer. So this is the step that you need to just enable this option, or you just need to enable or on this options I could say, and you need to set as per your requirement. Name matching criteria is what exactly is, it will look for the exact customer name at the QuickBooks end, and thereby avoiding a chances of duplication of entries in either of the system. And if you select it as a pattern, so let's say if you have made any error or any mistake while entering a name of the customer in both the sections, so in that case it will, if you choose this pattern options, it will update the existing customer details and not the, instead of creating a new one. And deadlock win, so you set it whether you want to update, like if you are updating the data at both the system, like at the QuickBooks and as well as from the CRM end for the same record, so which data needs to be taken into the consideration. So for that the deadlock win is what you set, like whether you want to take the CRM data or you want to set the QuickBooks data, so that you set it the deadlock win options. And allow primary contact, so if you want to sync a primary contact, so then you can set the allow options, and if you don't want to synchronize the primary contact, you can set it an option as do not allow. So once this criteria has been set, or once this all of the fields that you have been set or matched, then you need to click on the save. So any customer related or any accounts which we have promoted now, which you have seen, like we have promoted the account, code, order, invoices, so that all you can synchronize from the CRM to the QuickBooks. And similar to that, the products you can synchronize from the CRM to the QuickBooks, and the quote and the order. So quote and order is if you want to create any customer which missing customers at the QuickBooks end, so yes, if you set it as an yes, in that case you can able to synchronize, or if you want to create customers in the QuickBooks end. Similar to that, if you select an order, if you want to create any you want to create a customer for the create a missing customer, if you set it as an yes, so it will be creating an customers in the for the order entity at the QuickBooks. Once this option has been set, then here comes the transaction settings. So as you all may be aware that QuickBooks does not allow entering a line item without specifying the product. So to avoid this conflict, we request a service type of products to be created in the QuickBooks. So once this three service type of products that has been created into the system, you can map accordingly to that, write in all of these three products, like write in line discount, shipping product against this record, if you map and then you define whether you want to perform a tax calculation or if you don't want to perform a tax calculation, so that you set it accordingly over here. If you enable, yes, the tax calculation will be performed, and if you set it as a no, and no tax calculation will be performed over there. So once this transaction setting has been done, so all these records which we have processed from CRM to the QuickBooks can be done in a real-time synchronization of records as per the settings or as per the Inolink setting which we will do it over here. And similar to that, if you want to promote from QuickBooks to the CRM, in that case similar to that, you need to set it, the customer, product, and the transaction history is the important piece over here. So let's say if you want to bring up the credit memo, the received payment, sales receipt, estimate, invoice, all of the sales transaction details from the QuickBooks and to the CRM. So yes, you need to enable this option and you select which are all the information that you want to bring up from the QuickBooks and to the CRM. And here you define the date from how long, whether you want to bring up the data for the last month, last 3 months, or last 4 months, or last 1 year. All this date range you can modify it or you can set it. So as per the date which you set, it will bring up all of your sales transaction details from the QuickBooks and it will update at the CRM. So once this has been done with the settings, the main heart of an Inolink here is this service scheduling. So I could say this is the heart of the Inolink because this is where you define the services that needs to be run or the poll interval that I was talking about in order to synchronize the record either from the CRM to the QuickBooks or from the QuickBooks and to the CRM. So for that you need to run the service scheduling. So Inolink does run the service scheduling at the background. So initially at the trial period you will be getting an error message saying that you will need to get the provision for in order to synchronize. So at that time from our system that the Inolink does everything, that the Inolink needs to be the service scheduling has to be updated from our end, and once that has been done, so you can synchronize a record from CRM to the QuickBooks as well as from QuickBooks and to the CRM. So if you see over here Inolink QuickBooks to the CRM, the high priority services, so these are all the high priority services that needs to be synchronized. Like you will see our data from QuickBooks to the CRM which bring back customer transaction histories, open the YTD sales, the till date sales, all the details that will be coming from the QuickBooks to the CRM. So if you remember now, the record which we have synchronized or which we have updated the payment status of Safari Energy LLC account. Now if we go and check against the record whether the payment status of that particular account is updated in the CRM or not. So this is completely based on the poll time interval that we have set and the scheduling which we have run in the settings over here. Similar to that, if you want to synchronize CRM to the QuickBooks, you need to enable this option. QuickBooks to the CRM, the low priority services 30, 60, 90 aging, for that you need to enable this option. So since you have turned on, the service scheduling is an important piece in the Inolink where it is to be run, and then here comes the link existing customer and link existing products. So the challenges I was talking about earlier, like duplication of records. So in order to avoid the duplication entry of the record into the system, either of the system, so you have an option called as a link existing customer. If it is there is an customer in both QuickBooks as well as into the CRM, it will take it will match the existing customer in either of the system, and if there is no existing customer, it will create a new. Similar to that, the link existing product. So if you have a product in CRM as well as into the QuickBooks, it will link the existing product as well. So this is the settings that you need to do a one-time settings, that if based on your requirement, which are all the records or which are all the information that you want to promote from CRM to the QuickBooks or from the QuickBooks to the CRM. So now we will go and check the status of the record which we have updated it the QuickBooks and whether all the sales transaction details has been updated in the CRM or not. So this was the account for which the payment has been made at the QuickBooks end. So as a salesperson, let's say if I want to know the status of this record, what I can do is I will go and check what was the status, like whether all the transaction details, the sales transaction detail against this record has been seen in within this record or not in the CRM. So if you go into the accounting details tab, and here you see this is the sales track details, the aging and the balance. So if you remember, when we have enabled that option of in the service scheduling for running the low priority services from QuickBooks and to the CRM, so that all of the details has been, we have seen in the reflected into the CRM, like open balances, the YTD sales, the till date sales, the last transaction date, the transaction history. Also you see over here what was the invoice and the reference number, the received, the payment, how much as the payment has been received against those invoice. Even I can double click and check what was inside that invoice, the more inside details about that transaction. What was the transaction details. And if I open that invoice, and even I could check whether the record it shows whether the record has been paid or not. So if I open this invoice 1082 into the CRM, you see the record status has been now changed to a paid, which is non-editable. That means as soon as any payment status that has been updated into the QuickBooks and against this particular record, so that gets updated and synchronized in this CRM. So now I see this against this invoice number 1082, the customer is Safari Energy LLC, for which the payment has been made. So now as a salesperson, I get all of the information like the sales transaction details, the sales transaction summary. So what was this product, what was the unit or the quantity or the rate, the sales transaction summary, everything, all of this complete 360-degree view of accounting information within Dynamic 365 CRM that I can get it. So this eliminates or this removes, like instead of getting a multiple times to get in touch with my accounting team related to any information for a specific customer. So isn't it great? Like Inolink integrates like both between QuickBooks and a CRM in order to get all of the sales history as the sales accounting information all in a single view that I could say in an Inolink dashboard. So you get all this information that you see in the CRM, it can be represented in a dashboard as well. So we do ship an default dashboard along with the solution, so you can also create or customize your own dashboard as per your own requirement. So you see which are all the invoices that has been paid and which are has been left or yet to be paid, and what was the recent transaction that has been done against all of this record, and what was my active account, the sales comparison month by month, and any open balances against this record. So yes, that also can be registered, and the recent payment that has been done. So all this complete information that can be viewed in a dashboard as well, you get. So this is how the Inolink, which provide a complete 360-degree view of all of the accounting information in a single view within the Dynamic 365 CRM, thereby integrating a seamless integration between Dynamic 365 CRM and the QuickBooks. So now I would like to switch back to the presentation. The Inolink supported version is Microsoft Dynamics CRM 9.0 and above, which can be deployed on Dynamics Online, and the QuickBooks supported version is the QuickBooks Online version, and the country are USA, Canada, Australia and UK. And to get started with an Inolink is really simple. You can download this solution from Microsoft Appsource and also from our website www.inogic.com. And if you need any assistance in setting up the trial at your end, you can do reach out to us, crm@inogic.com. We would be happy to assist you. You can feel free to put your questions in the chat window. So yes, as I said earlier, I will be answering all of your queries in an email to you. And finally, I would like to thank each and everyone for attending this webinar. I hope you liked and enjoyed it. Thank you once again for giving your valuable time for this webinar. Have a great day ahead. Take care. Bye-bye.